Hi, and welcome back to the Knitting Diaries. My name is Inga Rós, and I live in a small town in East Iceland with my husband and our 3 boys. You can find me on Instagram as inga.rose and on Ravelry as Inga Rósu. And I made an separate account on Instagram for the Etsy store, and that's just yarn from the Shire called on Etsy. On Instagram. I wanted to say thank you to you for spending a little bit of time with me. If you are a returning viewer or if you are a new viewer, I really hope you like it and that you subscribe and be back for more someday. I'm sorry, I'm looking over there because my show notes. I'm now in my bedroom because the boys are home and I wanted a little bit more privacy than I would get in the living room. So I'm in my room now. About the summer top knit along or crocheting along, we are in the home stretch for that. It will be closed in August 31st. That's when I will close the FO thread, and we will be drawing for prizes on September 1st and podcasting. I don't know when next time I'll podcast. Probably after 2 weeks, and that is maybe I will just stretch it over the final days of the knit along and podcast on the 1st of September. That's 2 weeks-ish time. But please come and join. If you have made any kind of summer top or garment, you can enter it in the FO thread in our Ravelry group. It just had to be made from, I think it was May 1st that we started. So in that period of time, from May 1st to 31st of August. I will be drawing prizes from both the FO thread and the chapter thread. There is a chapter thread that is pretty lively, but in a small group. Those ladies have a pretty good chance of winning a prize, I think, because they are just chatting amongst themselves, which is fine, it's fun. But I think that I will, if I would draw the same person in the chapter thread prize and the FO thread, I will draw again, so that the same person doesn't get a prize for both threads. When this knit along ends, we will be in September, and as I've talked about in some of my previous episodes, I will be knitting all the shawls this winter and this fall. And I was going to, I showed you the last time, I think, or the time before that, a book, an Icelandic book for Icelandic shawl patterns. When I was looking at added some more, the directions are not very good. It's written up after actual shawls, so the patterns from whenever they were made do not exist. So they are just written up from an actual shawl, and the directions are not very good, but maybe someday I will. But I found another shawl that I am going to knit, and that is a pattern by Helen Magnusson, and she is French, but she lives in Iceland, and she is the host of, I think it's called the Knitting Tours. That's a knitting tour in Iceland. It's either just a stay-in tour in Reykjavik or a surrounding area for that, but they also come for a walk in Borgarfjörður Eystri, which is just an hour's drive from me. And she is a very talented knitter, and she makes her own yarn and makes patterns and everything. So I will put her information somewhere below. And this is a pattern that she wrote. It's called War or Spring. even though it's a fall, it's fall for me, but I am going to make this shawl. And this is a pattern that is available on Ravelry, so if you want, you could knit this with me. And she gives another color palette here. And I will probably be making something more like this in this earth tones. And this is traditional Icelandic knitting, so she just modernized it a little bit. And I really like this one. I'm gonna make myself this and knit it out of einband, as I was going to with the shawl from the book. And I will be hosting a shawl along this fall for at least 2 months. So it will be going on from 1st of September to the end of October. And you don't have to be knitting that pattern. You just have, if you're knitting any kind of shawl, you can join me. Yeah, I will be opening a chat thread after I get this uploaded, and there you can chat about what kind of pattern you're going to make and your yarn choices and stuff like that. So you please come and join that thread if you are knitting a shawl. Yeah, so we are going to go on to kláruverkefni, or my finished objects. And since I last talked to you, I have been quite busy dyeing and making project bags for a market that was held in my town. But I did manage to finish these, and these are made from my hand-dyed yarn. This is this really bright speckles, and this is the driftwood socks. The pattern is by Mina Philip of the Knitting Expert podcast, and this is a part of her Beyond Vanilla sock collection part 1. And if you haven't purchased this collection, you really should, because for a busy yarn like this, just a small texture really makes a difference. And I think I did, she gives different rows in between, a different row repeat, and I did the 10 row repeat, so it's pretty far between. And the other pair I cast these on after I set up my stall on the market on Wednesday. And I knitted them, and I finished the kitchen toe pretty soon on a Saturday, and then I was just knitting on these at the market as I was tending to my stall. And this is also my hand-dyed yarn, which is both are just superwash merino 75% and 25% nylon. I knit these on my, I'm sorry, the sun is blowing everything out. I knit these on my 2.25 millimeter needles, which are these Knit Pro needles. And these are the only kind of 2.25 I can find in Iceland that I have been. And I looked on quite a few shops when I went to Reykjavik last time. But I really like the fabric that I am getting with this. So I'm gonna have to try to figure something out by ordering some more needles for this. This one I made with my Chiagu, I think it's called, with the red lace. But these are 2.5 millimeters. And that works out just fine, but I really like the 2.25 even more. But I really like the join on this one and the red lace, or the red cord. Because the join on this one, it's not really good. I like these better. And I really want to try some higher needles. But there's, to my knowledge, only one store in Reykjavik that carries them, and she didn't have any 2.25. So I'm gonna just have to order them from Amazon or something. Yeah, these are both just 2x2 rib and a fish lips kiss heel and a Kitchener tool. Nothing special about them. And the pink ones are just vanilla. Nothing fancy there. My verkvinnslu eða works in progress. I started, it's really shouldn't count as a work in progress, but I had to rip it back because a friend of mine bought this yarn from my stall at the market, and she said, you have to knit me some socks with it. And I said, sure, that's no problem. So I cast this on Saturday, and I said to her, do you want some kind of pattern or just plain socks? And she answered me back and said, just do a plain vanilla sock, that's fine. And today I met her and I showed her my progress, and yeah, and she said, oh, don't talk so loudly, my husband, it's supposed to be a Christmas present for my husband. And I said, yeah, but I didn't cast on a man's sock, so I just have to rip it out and start again. But that's okay, I will just do that. And so I just started this again just a few minutes ago. My other works in progress, my Cozy Memories blanket has been getting some love. And now I have finished all the mini skeins, because this one is just from projects that I have dyed the yarn myself. And now I have finished all my mini skeins that qualifies for that. So since last time I did these 4. And this one is just from my 3-color cashmere shawl, and the Raina shawl in my volcano colorway, and these 2 crazy socks over here, speckled ones. And I think I have now the width that I want for it, and now I just have to build on top, so it's kind of exciting, and I can fold it. I also started Mina Philip. I'm on some kind of a Mina Philip bender, and she published a pattern for another kind of memory scrap blanket, which is called the pinwheel blanket. And the only thing I have left to do is cast off, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But this is my first square in the pinwheel blanket, and these will be just mini skeins from all over. And I am not. I will probably go. I will probably go time order rather than color choices or something like that. So these are from my first swap with Marilyn, and these are this really cute from Knitted Wit. They're called gumballs. And I probably can use each one at least twice in the blanket if I wanted to. But yeah, I'm gonna make more of these, and someday it will be a whole blanket. I have a project that I have decided to cast on, which is a hat, and that is called Gather from Tin Can Knits, and I don't have a picture of the pattern or anything. Maybe I will put it inside when I edit. And that is a really cool pattern. It's also for a cowl, but I'm just gonna use it for the hat, at least for now. It looks like cables, but they are not cables, so it's a really fun construction. And I am going to use one of these three. It's probably just a one skein project, it's just a hat, but I haven't decided between these three. And this is my yarn also. But I will just probably show you that next time I will podcast. I have been getting some mail recently, or my postkasse, or the mailbox. Previously this year I took part in a knit along called Stranded Along. Stranded knitting from Emily of the Arctic Knitting podcast, and I won one of her prizes, and that came recently because it had some problems getting to me, but it's here and that's what counts. And Emily, she talked about it in her last podcast. She feels that we are quite similar, both in our knitting and in our situation, because we are living in Scandinavia, of course, and we have experienced the same with the summertime and no night and always bright and sunshine, and then the extreme cold in the winter. And you are absolutely right, Emilia. I feel connected to you too. So, and she writes to me in her note that she sent with the package that she is hoping that we will meet in person someday, and I really hope that too. But she sent me, was part of a prize, this amazing green skein, and that is an indie dyer in Norway called Maskepigen, and these are 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, and it's called Busiman or the Boogeyman in English, and it's this really vibrant green. She also sent me, she just recently started to dye her own yarns. She has an Etsy store called Emilia's Arctic Yarns, and these are 2 mini skeins from her own hand dyed. And this one I know is inspired by Minecraft. I don't remember what it's called, but I know it's inspired by Minecraft. And this is also from her. And this is just a commercial Norwegian yarn. It's really lovely. And these will be going into my pinwheel blanket. She also sent me some little accessories or notions, I don't know what you would call them, just these cable needles and this row or repeat counter, and these what do you call them, needle protectors, so your stitches don't fall off. And this little tin which has some buttons in it, and it has little sheep and these metal ones which are with the Norwegian pattern on them. I think these are used on their kofta or their sweaters, Norwegian sweaters. So thank you for that, Emily. And the other day I was ranting on Instagram about knit picks not sending to Iceland. I really wanted some Felici self-striping sock yarn, and I had some lovely people sending me messages that they would be my yarn mule. And Sarah of the Reluctant Sisters podcast offered that I would buy some yarn and send it to her, and she would send it forward to me. And of course I said yes, please, thank you very much. And I really wanted this. This one is Beyond the Wall, which is a Game of Thrones reference, and it's just a really cool colorway. So I got 2 of these because they are just 50 grams. And I got this one as well, which is called Dark Side. And I love these colors together. But that's not all. She sent me some of her hand spun. And do you look at these colors? They are amazing. Thank you, Sarah. This is so special. This has to be made in something great for me. I'm gonna keep this all to myself. This is Polworth. I think it's just a wool sheep breed, and 85% Polworth and 15% silk. And it's a heavy fingering, 375 yards. Chain plied. And this is the fiber that she made this from, spun it from. And I think this is amazing. And I love the colors. Look at it. It's gorgeous. And she sent me some candy as well. And the only reason this has not been eaten is just that I just picked it up from a post office. I will be diving into this while I add it. Yeah, the next thing I wanted to talk about to you was my Etsy shop. I told you last episode that I had opened it and showed you some of the things that were already in it, but that was it. I did not explain the yarn basis or the name from the shop. And the name is, obviously, for those who are familiar with Tolkien, Lord of the Rings reference. And I really love those books. And the movies were okay, but the books are amazing. And I first read them when I was just, it was just 16, 17, something like that. They were already translated into Icelandic, but the books were huge. So I was trying to read while I was in bed, before I went to bed. And they were huge books. They're really, really big. And yeah, but not a very easy read whilst lying in bed. But I love those books. But the thing is, my region, or the word I'm gonna have to look at it. Municipality. Municipality, I think it's called that. Or the region. The town is called Egilsstaðir, but the whole region, including the countryside all around it, is called Fljótsdalshérað, and is often just shorted to Hérað, which would translate in UK English at least as Shire. So there you have the name. It's all my friends and I often joke that we are from the Shire in Lord of the Rings reference as well. And yeah, that's hence the name of the shop, from the Shire. And from in Icelandic, I really wanted to try to have something that would work in English and in Icelandic. So in English it's from the Shire, and in Icelandic it's frá héraði. So that works well for me. And the bases are women's names based on characters from a Norwegian folk. I wouldn't call it. Yeah, it's from the Norwegian book called Ísfolkið. This is a book, not one book. It's 47 books, and it's this one. And these were really popular here in Iceland when I was about 14, 15. Then that's the time I started reading. And Emilia, you may recognize this. I'm not sure anybody else will, but it has been translated in many languages. So if you have not heard of this, you can go look at it. The author is Margit Sandemo, and these are, I have lost count of how many times I've read these books. And as I said, there are 47 of them, and I just love them. I can cruise through a book in an evening because I have read them so many times. I don't have to read every word, but I love these books. Maybe because I started reading them when I was at that age, 14, 15 years old maybe, and these are not books for, they are not very appropriate for a 14 and 15-year-old girl. These can be violent and sometimes very gruesome books. But it follows a family, and the first books start in 1581, and they go in all through time. I think the number 47 is, then we are in the 20th century. Yeah, and it's a family saga about a curse on their family that turns them into all kinds of witches, and there are demons, and yeah, a great book, but not for children. Or yeah, check them out. And yeah, as I said, the young bases are my favorite women characters from these books. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I was selling my yarn and my project bags on a local market. And last week we have a town festival every year, and this market is for the local people to sell their handcrafted goods. It can be lopapisa, or it can be some kind of foods, or it can be whatever you are making at home. And I was selling my yarn in that market, and it was very it went good. I didn't sell out or anything, and I learned that mostly the older generation are really faithful to the lopi, and I can understand that. It has something that they have worked with their whole lives, don't know anything else maybe. It's not very expensive compared to indie-dyed yarn, but the younger generation was really excited, and we had some tourists or some people from Reykjavik and other places that were very interested, and so I'm hoping I am off to a good start. And the project bags were really popular. I had to go, the market ran from Wednesday to Saturday, and I had to go home both Thursday and Friday and make more bags. And these are the only ones I have left. So I have two of these tree pattern. I probably showed you the fabric before. There is one with a pink zipper and one with a blue. And all my project bags have the Icelandic fabric on the inside. And these are just lightly interfaced, but they can absolutely stand on their own. And these are small project bags for a sock project or something like that. And I have plenty of this fabric left, so I will be making more of these. But this one is the last one of this fabric, and I can't get any more. And this one is a bigger one. This one would probably be a 2 to 3 skein project. And this one is heavier interfaced because the outer fabric was just not as sturdy as the other one. But with more interfacing, it can stand up just fine. And this one, as I said, is the last one of this this fabric. And I am just slowly, I photographed everything last night or yesterday while the lighting was pretty good, and I am just slowly putting it in the shop. I'm not gonna have some one day at a specific time where everything will go live. I am just slowly putting it in the shop. What is already in there are these, and these are on my base called Sunna, and it's an 80-10-10 base, and it's a DK weight. I was just wondering, I have Sunna, it's an 80-10-10 superwash merino cashmere nylon base. I have it both on DK and fingering. Is it confusing if I have the same name but different weights in the shop? Should I have different names for different weights also? I thought it would be okay because I specify if it is a DK or a fingering, but let me know if it's confusing. I will change it. But yeah, these are in the shop, I think, or will be at least. These are also in. These are on a base called Vinca, and it's a 100% superwash merino base, and this is called Red Riding Hood. This one is also in there already. This one is called Cupcake, and this is a Vinca on a sport weight. The other one was a DK. This one is on Sunna. It's a fingering weight, and this is a Red Riding Hood. This one is in there already. I really like this one. It's just really pale pink with speckles of hot pink and black. And this one, I think I named it Skull Candy, and it's on a Sunna base fingering. So it's an 80-10-10. I'm really liking the lighting in here. It shows off the color really well. I think these are already in there. This is on a Sunna and a DK weight. And there are two of these. Mostly they're just one skein of each colorway. But I just made an order today, so I will be dyeing up more of each colorway and putting it in the shop when that order comes through. These greens will be there. This is an apple green, and this one is called grass green, and these are both on Sunna DK, and that's the 80-10-10. It's all obviously 100 grams and 212 meters for the DK weight. This one I really like. This one is called Pumpkin, and it's just this really burnt orange. It's a really cool orange color. This one is more vibrant. It's coming off a little bit red on the screen, but it's really very orange. I'm not gonna go through all of them because there are quite a few of them left. Yeah, maybe not so many. This is one, it has 3 different kinds of blues, and it's just speckled. And this is on a Sunna fingering. It's really lovely And I think this would be a really fun hat or something. And this one is, oh my god, it's pink, and it is really hot pink. Yeah, as I said, I'm not gonna keep you any longer for now, but keep checking the store if you're willing to buy anything. And I am going to sew up some more bags tonight and be putting them in there as well. Yeah, now the boys at home are calling me, so I will just go and tend to them. So thank you for watching, and I hope I see you again sometime. Happy knitting. Bye bye.